On my previous trip to Rome, I'd spent such a memorable afternoon at MAXXI, the Museum for 21st Century Art, that a repeat visit was a must on this trip. The direct tram from Piazzale Flaminio to Apollodoro wasn't in use, so I had to take the replacement bus. The stop was hard to find, and buses have a far lower passenger capacity than trams. In any case, I was as impressed as the first time around by the architecture of Zaha Hadid, both the exterior and interior of the building. I had done a bit of research before my visit, and was pretty sure I knew what I wanted to focus on this time. Straight up to the second level for the exhibition called Ambienti. These were a collection of works by women artists from 1956 to 2010, on the borderline, as the website put it, between art, architecture, and design. Most of them were extremely interactive. In fact, there was a requirement to remove one's shoes before entering any part of the entire area devoted to these exhibits. The first work I saw was Revuélquese y Viva from 1964 to 2023 by the Argentine artist Marta Minujín. There were quite a few children inside the installation, so I elected not to crawl around behind them for their entertainment. But I most certainly went inside Aleksandra Kasuba's Spectral Passage from 1975. Made out of nylon fabric, ropes, and rug, in addition to neon tubes and wood, along with sound and loudspeakers, this was a fabulous space to immerse oneself in. As the heights of the passageways were far too low for adults, that meant that we had to crouch or crawl through, much to the delight of the many children, who could run as fast as they wanted without banging their heads on any doorways. The kids found the encumbered movements of the adults hilarious, but mostly they ignored us. Many of the kids, as soon as they exited the purple space, ran back to the start to go through everything once again. Then it was over to the fabulous installation by Pipilotti Rist, entitled Sip My Ocean. Here I eagerly joined the crowd lounging on pebble-shaped cushions and let the 10 minutes of surreal video wash over me, and, for the most part, gave my iPhone a rest. If I'd had the time, I would have spent a half hour or more here just chilling. I can't tell you how much I loved this installation. Next door to this area and a narrow gravel walkway was Esther Stocker's environmental work. The English translation of the German title is, "The term alike may attract our attention, but in fact means nothing at all." The monochromatic severity of the black and white grid was strangely disconcerting and relaxing at the same time. Finally, I joined the queue for the physically, very literally immersive installation by the Brazilian artist Lygia called A Casa é o Corpo, or The House is the Body, describing the entire birth process from beginning to end, so to speak. We entered, one or two at a time, and made our way through and over the PVC balloons, little white balls, foam, yarn ropes, and past a deforming mirror. The two children who entered behind me eventually caught up with me, and were puzzled, alarmed, and amused by the sight of this very tall person lurching around in front of them, as I struggled to find the exit through the aluminium barrel door. Once I was safely outside, I told the laughing custodian organizing the installation entrances that I was happy I'd only had to go through the birth process once. back to the antechamber. My shoes were still there, and with them on, I returned to the comparably normal space of the foyer, having had a wonderful, fun time during my afternoon at MAXXI. By the way, I still love the atrium with all those suspended, huge red open-ended cables or pipes with the red dots they project on the walls. It won't surprise you that I had worked up a voracious appetite for my dinner a few hours later on at another repeat visit from my previous trip to Rome, the restaurant Carter Oblio. All the mouth-watering details of my dinner there will be in my next video.